Hello and welcome to the Family Business. I'm Joe Castiglione Jr. alongside Isaac Scoops. I was reading Scoops. I wrote it down. Hey, wait, Trey, excuse my ignorance real fast. What's the correct pronunciation of your last name?
Millard.
Okay, good. I was going to call you that, but I didn't want to sound like an absolute idiot. The comments would have roasted me. So, Kev.
Well, now you're getting. Hey, nobody knows. It's your dad's fault, Isaac. I mean, he was like 75% correct, and then every 25% he threw Millard out there.
He threw Millard.
Like, okay, we got to talk.
Yeah, nobody would know, but he's mainly got it right. But it's just funny sometimes it'd be like, all right, and then
okay, we're gonna run that real fast.
We're
gonna say that again real fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
Hello and welcome to the Family Business. I'm Joe Castiglione Jr. alongside Isaac Stoops. We're down here at the Sooner Scoop HQ Historic Campus Corner. We got a great episode for you guys today. We brought in 3 OU greats that have 3 memorable plays to go along with it. We have Drake Stoops in the studio, first returning guest. Mm-hmm. Shout out Drake. We appreciate coming on. We have Trey Millard. Fantastic. I'm still that hurdle and stiff arm truck all in one is still a combination I haven't seen. And then we have Kennedy Brooks in studio. So we have that coming up in the episode. A lot of fun things ahead. You know what also is fun? Home Field Apparel. Home Field Apparel is the official OU apparel sponsor of Soonerscoop.com. If you go to homefieldapparel.com, use code SCOOP, you're going to get 15% off your first order. I know the bomber jackets are back in stock. I actually got my mom one of those. So Miss Kristen is going to be looking fly. She said she actually wanted to wear it this weekend. It's a little hot. Yeah. But she said, I wish I could. So I got her that first thing right there, the bomber jackets. Phenomenal quality. I can't say this enough.
Yeah.
Right now I'm wearing this pullover. Home field. I'm sweating, but it's so comfy that it doesn't matter. This is also home field. We just love the retro stuff. Isaac, what kind of catches your eye?
Yeah, I just put my order in recently. Shout out to those guys for hooking it up. I obviously have that jacket that we were just scrolling on, and then I got a bunch of T-shirts. I really like all the graphic T-shirts. I kind of forgot about the bomber, but I think I want to get a bomber as well for once it gets colder. I really like a lot of their, they have all sorts of styles, the vintage, the the graphic tees. So. Check it out. They got a lot, for pretty much everybody.
Phenomenal quality. I can't tell you enough. Like this thing, it's the first time I'm wearing it right now. Great. This is an XL if you're trying to size it up. If you're trying to size me up. This is XL, big boy. So if you want to head over to homefieldapparel.com, use code SCOOP. You're going to get 15% off. Great deal. Great people. Head over there right now. Mm-hmm. Happy OU Texas Week. It's the most wonderful time of the year, in my opinion. I can't wait to get down there. Corn dogs, cold beer, football.
Yeah. It's a holiday.
It is a holiday.
Yeah,
it's
like in the comments, let us know over or under how much if a couple hours you worked this week. I mean,
I hope my boss is not watching. And so it's going to be, I can't wait till they get to the state fair, try all the new foods. I mean, all the traditions that go along with OU Texas. And I'm not even talking about the game. I'm talking about Friday night. Where do you go to get dinner? Where are you going out after that? I mean, people have traditions. Your favorite route? Are you riding a dart to the state fair? What corn dog stand do you go to? How many beers
do you take
a
nap after the game? Do you not? Now that it's at 2:30, there's a lot of questions, a lot to dissect here.
2:30 eliminates the nap, and it's probably for the best. It's one of those naps you feel 100% worse after.
I'm definitely not waking up if I do. So
no, exactly. 6:00 by the time you get out of the fair, you're probably heading out straight to more shenanigans after that. Hopefully celebrating a Sooner win. Mm-hmm. 14.5-point underdogs. I think I saw earlier. That's a lot of points. I'm not recommending anything either way. But that's a lot of points. I mean, the news of Deion Burks being out is tough. But this team is resilient. This defense is good. It's OU Texas. Anything can happen, Isaac.
Yeah. We've seen it time and time again. So,
and OU's been on the other side of that too.
Yeah, for sure. But everyone going down there, obviously, the support is going to be needed. And, really looking forward to, the environment in that stadium.
It's going to be really exciting. So if you catch me or Isaac down in Dallas, come say what's up.
Yeah.
Hey,
you guys don't know. We really do appreciate it. It's fun, when people come up and they mention it because it means we're doing something right.
No, it's awesome. We really appreciate it. But today's episode's phenomenal. It's kind of cool having multi-guests. It was really cool to talk to them, knowing their stories a little bit, knowing the build-up for each week. I mean, Kennedy has a really cool story about DeMarco telling him something before the direct snap. Trey Millard talks about the build-up. I mean, he's a Columbia kid, but he hates Texas and how that's born in. And then we have our first returning guest, Drake Stoops, and talk about his footprint on the game, which is massive. I mean, even the Kennedy Brooks play.
Playing a lot of those games, a couple Big 12 championships, so he's got some good insight. It'll be fun.
Yeah, so we have a fantastic episode. We have Drake, Trey, then Kennedy, and we're going to take you to that Drake episode right now. We now welcome in Los Angeles Ram, former Oklahoma wide receiver legend. Fill in the blank here. You go for it right now in the comments. Drake Stoops. Drake, thanks for taking the time to hop on the show during your bye week.
Yeah, no doubt. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited.
Yeah, you're also our first returning guest so far. So
how about that?
Hey, I'm the inaugural first guest and first returning guest. Come on now.
Yeah, we'll get you a plaque after this. We'll send you it with the TFB logo on it too.
Cash prize, yeah.
We'll work on that through the sponsorship. Home field. We'll give you some home field apparel.
I'm just messing.
But this week we're highlighting big week OU Texas. We're highlighting players and plays that have been influential and have stood the test of time of the rivalry of OU Texans. And so we thought you actually have two different games that he had made big contributions in. We're going to start off first. A lot of people don't remember this one, but 2021 quadruple overtime. I mean, it was the COVID year. And so you caught the pass over middle from Rattler, first NFL start this week. Yep. Shout out Spencer Rattler. To go ahead, and that ended up being the game-winning touchdown. What do you remember about that game? What do you remember about that play? I mean, it was really a different environment because of all the COVID parameters.
Yeah, I remember the stadium was it was crazy because it was supposed to be only half full, but, I mean, for whatever reason, it's still Texas. It still felt like it was rocking. So I just remember it being a back-and-forth game the whole time, and, we ended up going to those 4 overtimes and it just being back and forth. And, I think we had a chance to win it with the field goal we missed, and then we went to another overtime. And then in that 4th overtime, I scored that touchdown, and then Trey Brown caught an interception to seal the deal because they still had a chance on offense after that. And I just remember that being one of the craziest OU Texas I had really ever seen.
Yeah, it was a beautiful play call because it was like, it was like a typical, cross-field over route like you would run a lot of the time. But then the safety kind of let you, he passed you onto the other safety and you turned it up, and up the seam.
Yeah, it's a good cover 4 beater because you've got a deep post on the outside, a deep over on the inside, and then you're running kind of a selling like you're running mesh under the backers. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as you get under 1, you can go over 2 to that vacated area that the over and post just took out. So and we scored on it once before with Marvin that day. And so we had to dress it up different so they wouldn't notice it. And so they had me run it. And it worked again.
Yeah, and then you also had the 2-point conversion right after that, right?
I think that was the next year.
That was next year? Okay.
Wow.
See, we've had some crazy ones, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You got multiple. Yeah. Was that play call? Was that 95? Was that a different variation of 95? Lincoln
we called that play. We used to call it fork. But similar to 95. 95, you'd have, under the first backer over the second. But then you'd usually have like a post curl on the outside, and some kind of flat control from the slot.
Yeah. Well, what was the next one was last year, 2023 with Dylan. You had 2 catches on the final drive that ended with Nick scoring. The big one over the middle that ended up getting us in field goal range, but we didn't settle for 3. So talk to us a little bit about that. Just coming in, the underdogs and everything, that you guys battled through. And I see you talking there. But, talk to us about this drive here and what that last drive was about.
That's fun.
But, yeah, walk us through this drive.
That was crazy. I remember they went and scored, and we played well that day, but we definitely didn't play our best. And so we knew we had a chance there at the end if we played the way we could. And so I remember we started off the drive with a good first down, and that was a form of 95 right there that I did catch over the middle. So that's good. Get the chains moving, get the clock stopped. And then, Dylan scrambles right here, makes a great play and, hit me on the mesh, just some scramble drill, and we got a good chunk play there. And next thing you know, we're in the red zone, and we have a chance now to kind of run some run plays and pass plays because we still have some time. And then this play was just amazing. I mean, I think they busted coverage in the most crucial moment, and something to do with the motion and the play dress up right there is what made them bust coverage. So really smart play call and making them think in a really crucial situation. And we obviously got the better of them right there. And that sealed the deal. So it was awesome.
I think everybody in the country, everybody in Dallas thought that play was going to you. That's your short yardage end zone territory.
Yeah.
I
mean, a lot of people probably thought the game was over a minute 15, I think maybe a minute 30 left. I mean, it's hard to go that far on a good team that far down the field with, I think, maybe one timeout, if that. And I just remember we were all looking at each other like we're about to go do this, and then it happened.
Yeah.
Take us in that huddle real fast. Did Dylan say anything? Did you say anything? I mean, they're so composed the way that you guys drove down the field. Did you guys say anything, or was it just calm, cool, collected of, hey, like,
Yeah, I mean,
we got this?
really just, yeah, let's go get this. I mean, we got enough time to go down and score. And I mean, this is where big players make big time plays. And I remember Austin Stogner saying the same thing. He said, hey, like, I mean, why not us? Why not do it now? And it ended up, working out.
And they double covered Stog on that one.
Yeah.
He knew.
Yeah.
He knew. As an Oklahoma kid, of course, you grew up around the rivalry, watched it, going to the games each year with your family. What was it like to finally play in OU Texas, and then now like having your mark in multiple ways in that game? What is it like for you knowing that?
No, yeah, it was awesome. I remember growing up as a kid, and OU Texas was the biggest deal. I loved watching it. I mean, I thought the players were like superheroes. So it was full circle to get to play in that big of a game and feel the magnitude of it as a player. And, so now being able to put my stamp as a player on it, it really is, it means a lot to me because, I grew up watching that game and OU means the world to me. So you can never let Texas get a win.
I know most of OU wishes you could suit up this weekend. Texas is happy that you can't. But give us a quick Rams update before we let you go.
Yeah, no, the Rams, it's been great. I really enjoyed the organization and the people. I got a lot of great teammates, a lot of good veteran leadership. Cooper Kupp's been great. He's one of the savviest football players I've ever seen. So it's been cool getting to learn from him and learn from Coach Yarbs. And it's just been great. I really couldn't enjoy the organization more. I think they're, one of the better ones in the NFL in terms of people and building relationships and everything like that and what they prioritize. So
for sure.
That's awesome. Well, Drake, good luck for the rest of the season. Good luck with the Rams. Hopefully you guys get a little healthy too as well. A little injury bug going on there. Well, good luck and congratulations for being our first returning guest. And so
thanks for having me, guys.
For sure.
No problem. Now welcome in Trey Millard. Trey, thanks for joining the show. Thanks for taking the time. Big week.
Yeah, of course it is. Biggest week of the year. Well, as long as we up until now at least. So
yeah.
How you guys doing?
Good.
We're great. I mean, it's always like the coach's cliche, like the next week's always the biggest week. But this week feels different. So actually, before we get to your host of highlights that we're going to run in here in a little bit, but let's talk about like OU Texas preparation. Like obviously there's a little more juice between the players, but like, do you remember like those weeks leading up to OU Texas, like the coaches acting different or even sometimes in the off season building a preparation or game plan up for this game and then tabling it until you come back to this week?
Man, it's something that's always on the focus, right? I mean, that's part of the reason you come to OU is to play in this game. I mean, I truly believe, and I might be a little bit biased, this is the best rivalry game in all college sports. I mean, just the venue, the teams, the legacies behind it, it's incredible. And so you always have that. That golden hat is somewhere you can see in the locker room, right? If you have it, and if you don't have it, that trophy case is empty, and you want it back, right? And so it's something that's just always present. I mean, we've had in our locker room before the change, there was a mural of all these big plays that happened in OU Texas, right? And it's something that's always Schmitty will make sure that he'll drill in your head that Texas is working too, and all that. And so it's one of those games, and it's one of those rivalries that's makes our game great.
Yeah, and you had you had a lot of hurdles in your career. Obviously, people don't want to tackle you up high, but one of the most memorable ones was the hurdle and stiff arm against OU Texas. Kind of walk us through that. Like after it happened, like were you surprised you were still up? Like I don't know, I've still never really seen that happen.
Yeah, no. So I knew watching film that year of Texas. I knew their secondary was not overly physical, right? They were not trying to tackle guys high. And so I remember catching that ball out in the flat, and I was like, early in the game, I tried to smoke somebody. And then I was like trying to lead it up for a later catch, and it kind of happened perfectly. And I was just open there. I saw the corner who was outside, and I was like, man, he's going to go low for sure. I saw the safety coming across. I was like, they're going to meet up at the same time. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen, but like I'm gonna jump. Like I'm just I'm not going to run through both of them, so I might as well just try taking a jump. I was like, this is in my head. Even I was like, this is probably not going to end well.
Yeah.
And then I landed, and I was like, oh well, sweet, and just try to run as fast as I could to get down there. And so, but yeah, it was awesome. It was fun. This is another one right here. That's a good one.
It's like most of the time when you jump over someone and somebody else gets a free shot at you in the air, you end up like upended.
That's kind of what I thought right here. I was like, oh, here it goes. And I was like, I'm still in bounds, still on my feet. Wish I was fast. Wish I was 4 yards faster.
It had to catch you by surprise a little bit. I was about to say, how much heat did you get from your teammates after that you got hawked down?
Oh, I mean, constantly. So, I mean, you guys know, and this is somebody who I didn't even play with, but Jackson Yules will always be like, anytime we're together and anybody brings up that play, he'd be like, dude, did you score on that? Just knowing I didn't. Like, because you're such a jerk. I was like, come on, I got close. You know what I mean? Yeah. So,
he's an instigator.
I got hell for it. At least I got one touchdown in that game right there. So, I didn't go with 0 scores. But, man, that was a fun game. I mean, we put it on them, and it was, one of my best games as a Sooner, and so it's a good game to have a good game.
Yeah, no kidding. But I'll tell you, though, I kind of forgot you didn't score either until we watched it again earlier. And so if you didn't go and watch it, you would have thought you scored.
I don't try to correct people if they misremember. That's not my fault.
It's too funny, but yeah, I don't think I've still ever seen a play like that. I mean, there's a lot of hurdles. A lot of times it doesn't end up well.
Josh Allen do it. I don't know.
That's a big dude too.
Season, but he went out of bounds. He didn't keep running. Like most people don't. Make it all the way.
Yeah.
I also kind of think too, like you probably never take credit this, but you were kind of the first line of like OU H-backs, fullbacks, Swiss Army knives. You had and then you had Dimitri, and then you had Carson Meyer, Jeremiah Hall. I mean, just a long line of H-backs, but you were the kind of one that kind of formed that position, even though it was a different offensive coordinator later. Mm-hmm. So what does that mean to kind of build that position?
I think I put my own adaptation on the position at OU, but I mean we've got a long history of just like fullback U, man. I mean Seth Luttrell, who's there now, won a national championship. JD Reynolds is a guy who I looked up to, and then even right before me, the guys that kind of helped me convince to come is Matt Clapp and Brody Eldridge of the way that those guys were used in that offense. I was like, I think I can do that. Like, I think that's one of the few places in the country that, utilize a fullback this way, that let him carry the ball every once in a while, that let him run routes every while and catch out in the flat. And I was like, man, I'd love to. I know most of my money's gonna be made, blocking, but if I can touch the ball a little bit more and get a little bit more plays than just your stereotypical, I formation or power back stuff, it's like, man, that's what I want to be a part of. And so, I was lucky enough to kind of help and come do a little bit more of that than most people do.
Yeah, it's definitely an attractive recruiting point, kids who, are in high school and they can do it all, it's fun to show like the line, the long line of guys that we, have given the opportunity to do it,
It's OU Texas week, but you do have one interesting connection with OU moving to the SEC. OU's going to be playing Missouri. For a lot of people that don't know, you're from Columbia, Missouri. You're a Como kid. So do you get to talk a little bit more smack with your high school buddies, your kids you grew up a little bit, or what does that kind of mean to you though? He's going to be playing Missouri again.
No, we will for sure. I actually went to their Boston College game for a buddy had a wedding, and so that was part of the wedding festivities and going up there. And it's the first time I've been there since they stormed the field on us, unfortunately, in 2010 or 11. So, I'm excited for that to be back. Just personally, just high school friends, seeing my family still, my parents still live there. So, that's kind of a cool game to bring back. That's one of the reuniting of the Big 12 in a different conference for me growing up. And so, I think it's going to be fun. I think it's a great atmosphere. I think they're, for the most part, they're doing solid. They dropped a game already this year, but they're a good team, and so that's why we came to the SEC, is to play the best. And so it's good to be back in there, and it'll be a fun game to go to. Let's see.
Hey, I just got a really good idea from that. Instead, it's a big discussion this weekend having your wedding around college football games. October 12th is like one of the most popular wedding weekends of the year.
I got a couple buddies,
biggest slate of games for the year. Why not build your wedding around the football game? Let's go to the football game too.
I don't know if the bride's gonna love that idea.
She's not the right bride, and then find a new one, because if you can get a wedding done morning 10 a.m. bride sharp and early. Hey, honey,
it was weird. It was a Friday wedding, so we did wedding Friday, Saturday. was rough because it was 11 a.m. kickoff, but we survived and we made it there. And so,
It's like
it was a fun kind of put together weekend. That's a good idea.
That's like the wedding reception on Saturday. You know, I mean, obviously you had it after on Friday, but
I think we're speaking something to existence.
Yeah.
Friday night before OU Texas, you have a wedding in Dallas. Everybody's already there. You go to that, you have OU Texas the next day. It's like a celebration the whole weekend. So we solved it. It's not moving it to a different weekend. It's building it around it.
It's location and timing.
Okay, if we're working for a collaboration for a wedding planner, call us at the Family Business. Joe Castillo Jr., Isaac Stoops, Trey Millard.
We'll have OU legends come through the wedding at 7-4.
It's like a meet and greet. Future NIL opportunities, I don't know. Friday night, you want to come to my wedding? We'll see.
Yeah.
man.
Trey, thanks for coming on the show. One of the guys, who has made influential plays, big plays, memorable plays in this OU Texas rivalry. Thanks for joining us this week. We appreciate you coming on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. It's fun.
Now we're going to have Kennedy Brooks join us in studio, so stick around. We now welcome in Kennedy Brooks in studio in Sooner Scoop HQ. Kennedy, thanks for coming down.
No, thanks for having me, man. Thank you.
Continuing our OU legends, OU plays that are influential to the game in the last 10 years or so. And so, I mean, you got a couple. But
just a little bit.
I mean, the one that rings the bell right at the top is the direct snap touchdown.
Yes,
actually, second time it was run that game.
Mm-hmm.
But talk about that play. I mean, that game itself can be broken down and talk for 3 hours. But just talk about that play. Like, you're thinking you may need a field goal, but then it just opens up and you touchdown to win.
Well, the crazy thing is, it's like how it happened. It was like a movie. So right before that play, we had a timeout, right? Mm-hmm. And we was talking about it, see what we wanted to do. And they brought up the play, and I was like, KB, you good with it? And I was like, yeah, I got you. So then I talked to Marco right before we was about to go out. And I said, hey, do you want me to score, or do you want me to just get just get what I can? At first, he said no, and I was like, okay, bet, I got you. I'll just get what I can and get down. And then we broke the huddle, and right before he said, KB, and I turned around, he said, hey, if you can score. And I said, all right, I got you. So then, literally, what happened? Like, I was nervous. First of all, I gotta get the snap, dude. If I drop this ball right now, game over, we lose. It's crazy. So, my main thing was like, all right, catch the ball. And then once I did that, faded to Caleb, and then when it happened, I thought it was a hole there at first. And then as soon as I was about to go into it, it just closed immediately. And I was like, oh, my goodness. All right. So now I bounced. I was like, I can't get tackled now. And so then, God be the glory, man. I just scored and literally just won the game. So that was like a crazy moment, It didn't even hit me when it happened. I was like, what? Like, it was like a movie, so it was crazy.
Yeah, I remember my dad was on the set of Ben Noon kickoff, and he was at a completely different game, but obviously Drake was playing. He was one of the main blockers on that, and there's a video of him just banging on the table, going nuts, like on TV, and I was just dying laughing.
Dude,
him
and B. Will had the best block.
Oh yeah,
so,
B. Will had the best block.
So,
he just threw his head.
So, dude, it was a crazy freaking moment, man, and how both the same play was both a touchdown. So it was like just perfect. B. Will right here, and then Drake, dude, it's just like perfect, just like messed up perfect.
Spun around.
Look how he just threw his body.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, dude, he's a hell of a player, hell of a blocker, and those two dudes made the play. Dude, it was crazy.
That was so fun to watch.
If he didn't throw his body, like, he could have tripped you up too.
Oh, 100%.
Straight up.
Like, if he would just stopped right there, I would have ran into the back of him, and then who knows what would have happened at the end of it.
Man, it's always better to just. I don't ever like relying on field goals, so it's nice to just. When you ran it in, I was so happy.
Dude, it was a crazy moment. That game was wild. Coming off of COVID and everybody, like that was the first game back off of COVID, and the atmosphere, dude, it was wild, and just how we came back from it. Oh, dude, it was.
Yeah, I was about to say you ran it for 2 touchdowns, right?
Yeah,
Same play, yeah.
So, literally, just the atmosphere about it and how we came back from being down, I think, 31-7.
28-7.
Yeah, 28-7. And then that halftime, and then I only think we scored the first time when we came out. I think they scored again, and then we started coming back and scoring. So, it was like a crazy, comeback.
Yeah, Caleb had the amazing strip on that, what was that, kickoff?
Yeah.
I mean, we just had a lot of things start to go right, and we just didn't look back. Yeah.
It's one of those games that you look back, it kind of feels like 5 hours. No. As a fan watching it. It ended up being really good, but it was like 5 hours because, I mean, you looked up in the first quarter, it's like 28-7. You're like,
bro.
It's like you start asking questions. Like,
People start leaving.
Yeah, for sure.
Could you imagine if you left? I think it's weird because the State Fair you can rejoin.
Right.
Like it's not like that any other game. Like you leave, you'd be kicking.
You got
yourself.
cotton candy and you see it. We're coming back. You're like, go back in. Like I don't know. No other stadiums. I don't think like let you come back in.
No.
No, not at all.
So you're a Texas kid.
Yeah.
Grew up in Texas. Went to the other side of the Red River.
All right, so my mom was a big Texas fan.
Really?
Big Texas fan before I got recruited. Big Texas fan. So she wanted me to go to UT at first. Thankfully, I never got an offer. Definitely never got an offer. But, like, the crazy thing that's happened, my family, my dad's from Oklahoma, my mom's from Texas. So we always had that split rivalry. And, you know, Texas, it's a big football life down there. So this type of game and playing football down there, it's more to it. It's a religion, literally. Mm-hmm. So, you know, just growing up playing this, and you see the game, you watch it on TV growing up, you're like, dude, I want to be a part of it. I want to be part of it. It's something like you can make history, and obviously, like everybody that made history in this game, like has like always been on OU side, but like I just love the fact that the Lord's blessed me to put my name on that game and just be able to not only do that for OU, but also put my family name on that. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot of guys. I mean, it's been going on for a long time, so there's a lot of guys who have played in it, but only so many people leave their mark, and everybody's gonna remember, your play, Drake's play.
Yeah.
I mean, just some of the guys we had on before you, so it's super cool to see. What's the lead up and the build up to the game like?
The build up, it was kind of. I don't know if a lot of people know this. We didn't we get I want to say.
So it was like a lot of close wins. Like West Virginia was before that one, like on the last minute field goal, 16-13.
And then I think going into the game, wasn't it sportsmanlike conduct on the field?
Because there was a pregame
scuffle.
Yes, the scuffle.
Okay.
There was a scuffle.
Every player on both teams.
So if you got another one, you'd be kicked out of the game.
Yeah,
oh,
it was
I
crazy.
see. Like during the game.
Yeah, like it was a legit hate. Like, I'm talking about legit hate. Like this is probably the most hate I've seen going to an OU Texas game, like personally. And like you said, like every player had sportsmanlike conduct. So if we would got that in the game, somebody's out. This is out. And
I guess why they did the way they did it. Yeah, they don't want any more trouble.
Literally. So it was like so when we came back from that that pregame, like we got in locker and we was hyped. Like we was like, bro, they just try to disrespect us and all this, and like we was like, yeah, we're not gonna let that happen. And then literally the first play of the game, this crazy thing. After they scored, we all looked at each other. We was all like, all right, this is gonna be that type of game. all right, we see what it is. It's gonna be that type of game. And then literally going into the halftime, like you know how some teams be down. Like we wasn't. Like we was hyped. We was like, bro, we got this. We gonna come back. We got this. It's gonna be good. And God be glory, it happened. So
I was gonna say because it wasn't Xavier Worthy on that team. He took it yard first
first
play.
play.
Yeah. So it's like it's hard to keep guys locked in when you're going down so much.
100%.
But I mean, you guys had a lot of veteran leadership on that team. So yeah.
What's so unique and what I think contributes to making it the best rivalry in college sports are the momentum swings because it's half Texas, half OU split down the middle. So that game alone, there were so many momentum swings as a team. Like, how do you stay level?
So what got me really just the whole atmosphere, like you said, is half, and it's never quiet. Like we all been there. Like it's never quiet. It's never a dull moment. And literally once you take the breath, that was a crazy thing.
I forgot about that.
Literally, the crazy thing that my knee was down on that. But that was obviously the longest run of the game. But how it happened, like my knee literally just touched right there.
You are down.
Yeah. So I was pissed, dude. DeMarco was pissed at me. I was pissed. And like this is like the
But I don't remember they called that a fumble?
Yeah, well no. They did on the
reversed
field.
it though.
They
Okay, I was about to say
it.
that's plain as daylight.
And then like I was pissed, and DeMarco was like, bro, you good. So then after that, like we was about to like literally that's like the biggest we was about to like come in and score, and we did score on that. And like I was like, bro, you serious? I was sick. I was literally sick. I was pissed.
Can you imagine how out of breath you were there? Because you already ran down there and then you got back up.
I was like, and like I knew like how big that moment was for me. Like if it was called a fumble, like it would have been like it would have sucked. Like it would have
all the air was out of the stadium. Yeah.
And that's why those moments are going to happen, but you
Yeah.
just somehow have to stay. I mean, how do you get down 28-7 and the next thing you know, you win the game?
Right.
Especially with the momentum like that in the building.
No, 100%.
There was so many crazy plays in that game.
So
like,
many crazy
I mean,
plays.
that Marvin's, right? His
Two
dunk
Marvin- two
yeah,
Marvin
that
catches.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You could go on for that. That's what I'm saying. You could talk about it for 5 hours.
Yeah.
KB, you're a quiet guy
Yes.
on the surface.
Yes.
There's a lot of trash talk in the game. You talked about it pre-game.
Yes.
So what's the craziest trash talk you heard? Like, how'd you dish it out a little bit? You mumble things under your breath? Like, how?
It was more like like play on player type of situation. Like it has to be during the game. 'Cause, you know, playing defense. I mean, playing offense. When you get tackled, they trying to say something in your ear
Every time.
Like every time they just so like when they got their energy, it was like, bro, they were saying y'all ain't nothing, y'all suck. Da, da, da. Obviously, some cuss words, but I ain't gonna say all that.
Yeah. That's first and
But
foremost.
but it's like, bro, y'all they not nothing. Like at the end of the day, Texas isn't back. Like we gonna run that rivalry, and I can't stand freaking Texas. I can't freaking stand them. So like I can't wait for this game. I can't wait to see what happens. So I love the rivalry. I freaking love it. It's the best thing. This game can change seasons. Obviously, you know, no matter if you freaking OU's number one in the country, Texas, it's gonna be a hard fought game. No matter if Texas number one, OU's gonna come back and play their best. So I can't wait for it.
There's been seasons ruined
Yeah.
from this game. You know, I mean,
100%.
this game throughout the years is crazy. I mean, anything can happen. That's why, you know, obviously you don't like to pay too much attention towards rankings or what, you know, but they have a good body of work, but I think so do we, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
100%.
I mean, we've also had the injury bug, which doesn't help, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's anybody's game at the end of the day.
100%.
You know?
They have it like there's one thing I saw. And it was like they haven't faced a defense like us. We got the number top 5 defense in the country right
Yeah,
now.
I'll give it to hats off to them. They keep us in games.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%. So
picking up some slack where we needed it.
Yeah.
So it's really encouraging to see that. You know what I mean?
100%.
Especially in that Tennessee game. It felt like the longest game
Yeah.
ever. The score did not reflect.
I
You
don't-
know, like when 25-15 doesn't look that bad,
Yeah.
but it felt a lot worse. You know, our defense
felt like
was
40.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
You know,
literally,
so-
literally.
Yeah.
Bro, but like our defense, like they show up every single time, every single time. And this catch right here, like dude,
The throw and catch
Yeah.
and how close his foot was
Oh
to
my
out of
goodness.
bounds.
And then,
That is
the
a touchdown,
celebration.
too. Listen.
I wish we got the
she's in the
celebration.
way.
I wish we get the celebration. Oh, the celebration.
Oh, there it is
crazy.
with B. Will.
Yes, when they grab. Dude, that celebration gets me every single time.
He was on the show. I don't know. Quite a while ago, but we talked about the celebration. I was like, "Did you like black out?" Do you remember? He was like, "I don't know. I just started
Yeah,
going."
he just went crazy, and I was like, just seeing that after, I was like, bro, what are y'all doing? But,
Just caught up in the moment.
It's caught up in the
On
moment.
film,
I love
coach
it.
keep playing it back.
But I freaking love it. Heck of the catch, heck of the freaking play.
Yeah.
Nah, that was wild. It was freaking wild.
So many of those plays that game. DeMarco Murray,
Yes.
we actually were in the same running back room.
Yes.
First year,
Yes.
we had JB, Jay
Yes.
Boulware. And then you had DeMarco. What was it like playing under DeMarco?
Well,
What's his style? Everybody wants to know because he's thought of this calm, cool, collected, but we know he's a hard coach.
no, he's a hard coach. Like
Yeah.
I'm being so he's a hard coach, but he's a coach that got me ready for the NFL. I wouldn't have gone to the NFL without I'm about to say Boulware.
DeMarco.
Well, DeMarco. But dude, I love him. He's honest. He's real. He's not the type of coach that do it for the money. He wants the players to be successful, and he's gonna be real with you. Like if he feels like you just keep running around like you just looking for the big plays, not trying to get the nitty gritty runs, like he's gonna pull you. And he expects greatness from you. I mean, you got to think about it. He did it in college. He did it in the NFL. So he's going to expect you to do the same thing because he done it. So he's so like
That gives him a different amount of respect. Like
No,
once you
100%.
walk into the door, you know who he
yeah,
is.
like that's like a big recruiting thing for me. Like if I was a new recruit coming in today, like how many coaches in college football right now can say that they did it in college football and the NFL?
Yeah.
Like and that can literally coach you and tell you what to do and literally you have proof that he done it.
Yeah. Do it here, and then I'm gonna show you how you do it here. Is what's gonna translate to how you do
Correct.
it there. You
No,
know
that's
what I
what I'm
mean?
saying.
Yeah.
So like he had a heck of a career in the NFL, obviously a heck of a career in college. So like he's the truth to me. Like he's a coach. That's why Ohio State wanted him. So,
Yeah,
like,
I know.
that's
you're
why,
right.
yeah, that's why Ohio State wanted him. But dude, he's a born bred Sooner, and I'm so happy he came back, especially for my last 2 years, man. It was a blessing.
That's cool. Yeah. Hey, Kennedy, thanks for coming in studio.
sir.
We appreciate highlighting some Sooner greats, some Sooner great plays. For everyone watching, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. That helps us help you.
Yes, sir.
And we'll catch you next week with another edition of The Family Business. Remember to keep it in the family.